All right, guys. Here with Danny Shay. Is that how we pronounce it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Danny Shay of the Macon Mayhem. Kick it off. Same thing I did with Graham last week. What's your title? What do you do? How'd you get into it?
Yeah. My name's Danny Shay. I'm the game presentation and operations coordinator for the Macon Mayhem. I've been working in hockey ever since I graduated from High Point in 2023, originally with the New York Islanders, now here with the Macon Mayhem of the SPHL. And not your traditional path getting here. I went to school to become a broadcaster, play-by-play broadcaster. I broadcasted a bunch of different sports in college on ESPN Plus and on YouTube and a bunch of places, and I always thought for sure that's what I was going to end up doing. But then I got a game presentation internship with the Islanders right out of school, and I fell in love with it, and here I am in Macon.
Let's get that out of the way, right? Right. So Graham kind of had, the whole broadcast play starting in high school, his whole time at High Point, right? One, what drove you to want to do broadcast or just be on this side of hockey? And two, how did you get an internship with the Islanders? That's crazy.
Good question. I don't know the answer to it, honestly, because it's kind of absurd. But I'm from New York, obviously.
Yep.
I love to talk, you know that.
Yeah.
So literally ever since I was a kid, like whenever I would play video games, I'd have the broadcasters off. I'd be calling the games myself. And I've just grown, eat, sleep, breathe sports. So it's always been in my DNA. It's always been something that I love to do. And I love to talk and tell stories, right? And now I kind of do that behind the scenes more so than on camera or into a microphone. And I'm sure we'll get into that. But I've always loved to just talk and talk sports. So it was always something I had a passion for. I had a radio show in high school on Long Island radio. From there, went to High Point, like I mentioned, did a bunch of stuff there. I interned at a bunch of different TV stations throughout my time. And and then I got the Islander thing. Like I said, don't know how that happened. It's my childhood team growing up. So that in and of itself was awesome, but it was something that I had never done before, which is even cooler because I got to learn this side of game production. And here I am now.
Okay. You said you had a radio show in high school.
Yeah, I did.
Explain that for
me. I did. So, my school district on Long Island is huge. It covered a ton of towns, and it was really cool that they had their own radio station for students to take a class and learn the art of radio and learn how to broadcast. And now it's evolved into something so much more where they call games and stuff now, which is something I wish I got to do in high school. But I had an hour talk show once a week with two of my buddies. And we just talked sports for an hour. And it was called Students Speak Sports. And that was my introduction to it. Loved it. And and it somehow got me to where I'm sitting right now. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
That's awesome. Okay, so bringing it back to the Mayhem.
Yeah.
Typical game day for you. From the moment you walk in the building to that final buzzer, right? Give me a rundown. Right, what time you get in, all that.
Yeah,
I saw your story. You got in there pretty early for opening night.
So a lot of the front office will get in for a 6 o'clock game, say closer to 9:30, 10 o'clock, right? Because we're there till midnight, sometimes later. But I like to get there really early because on game days, let's be honest, I have a little bit more to do when it comes than everybody else, and that's not a knock on everybody in the office, but no, I like to get there really early, and that was something I started doing with the Islanders. I would always be first person in the building on game days, typically one of the last people out. So that's the same mentality I wanted to bring here to Macon, obviously in a much more elevated role here. But so game day, usually at the arena between 7 and 8 in the morning, regardless of when the game is, right?
Yeah.
It could be, unless it's a 12 o'clock game, 2 o'clock game, something like that. I'm probably there
earlier afternoon games.
I'm probably there at 4 in the morning. So we're there. I'm printing scripts, so all of our run of shows, game scripts, all that kind of stuff. Make sure everybody has what they need to be successful on game day is kind of my job, right? So making sure our media has credentials to get into the building. That's part of my operations side as well. making sure all of our game day staff has their credentials to get in, making sure security has everything they need, making sure the building knows what we need from them on a game day. And that is done well in advance, but making sure everything's there ready to go. And then, like I said, it's printing scripts, it's making sure everybody has what they need to be successful that night. So whether that's for our camera operators, their shot lists of things that I want them to shoot throughout the night that'll go up on the video board, our host script, our PA scripts, rosters for everybody to be able to find players on the ice, and it's just so many little things that go into it. Testing all the content that's going to be on the board throughout the night, and even like for opening night, I'm sure all the Mayhem fans listening to this will remember this. During the second intermission, we had Sarah dance along the Pink Pony Club a little bit. We thought of that at 11 o'clock in the morning on game day. So that was a last-second addition because we were so far prepared in advance for this game that we're just shooting ideas off each other. And we're like, oh my god, like we have these little pink poodles in our possession. Like,
from last year's Cherry Blossom game.
Let's create a moment. Let's do something with this. And we thought of that, and it was probably my favorite moment of the entire night. But it's being able to be available, and the planning never stops. So literally day of, we're coming up with new ideas. So typical game day for me is a lot, and I know I just gave you a lot of information right there, but and that's not even everything. Like there's so much more that goes into it. Our rehearsals, our sound checks, all that, and then once we get to game time, we're going. So obviously everyone in Macon, so we were able to do opening night, and excited to see how this thing gets better and better throughout the year.
Okay, so you mentioned something that Graham brought up a lot during last week's interview, right? Making a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. One, that term, I love it because it really is. Like, as a fan, everything is based off of those specific moments that we as fans are always going to remember.
Absolutely.
Right? Is there, in your time doing this, not just with Mayhem, obviously you've only got the one game under your belt,
of course.
right? But at your entire career, internship, college, all that, is there one moment that stands out for you that like you help make for someone else?
Yeah, so maybe not one specific one, but I know during our Islander games last year, and the year before too, one thing that we like to do is during our kiss cams, every night we always like to have a skit for it, right? So thing from ownership, they love the kiss cam and Islander games, so our objective from ownership was to do the kiss cam every night, but create a moment for each kiss cam and make it different each time, right? So whether that be someone doing maybe like a gender reveal during it, or we have our mascot come down and pie someone in the face who's like an opposing fan, or like we have our mascot come and like take somebody's girl away from their boyfriend. We put raw couples up on the kiss cam, right? Like creating those little moments during the game, people laugh, people enjoy it, right? But then you see like some of these moments on social media, right? Like a fake proposal at an Islander game. Guy goes down on a knee. People think it's a proposal. Guy's tying his shoe, and that's what we go tied on. Like, it's those little things that people love so much and go so viral on social media, and that was something that I talked about with our current ownership with a lot before I got here, right? Is that I love to create moments for the fans, and that's why I really love what I do for a living, right? Like I said, I want to be a broadcaster. I wanted to call games. That was always my passion, always my dream, right? But getting to do this now and knowing that you're a small part of why someone will remember a game for the rest of their life is so rewarding in a way that it's a big philosophy of what we want to do here this year and beyond, and just help continue the growth of this team, right? Because second year under the new ownership, a lot of excitement surrounding the team, right? We just want to, this thing is a rocket ship that's just going. We want to watch it go as far as it possibly can. So creating those moments is definitely a big piece of it and why I love doing what I do.
Okay. So it really is awesome, right? Seeing you come in, or we had Madison who kind of ran game day operations last year. And from a fan perspective, my first year being a season ticket holder, she did an awesome job, right? She was awesome. Absolutely. But it felt like she was wearing a lot of hats throughout the year, so maybe she didn't get as much focus on it. And then at the same time, you're bringing in the highest tier of professional hockey level knowledge to us in the small town of Macon to kind of get it going. How are you going to balance, or like how are you balancing teams' needs, right, with the fan-facing entertainment, but also making sure that that production quality is staying up, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure like your side kind of feeds into Flow.
Yeah,
right?
So we have one camera. We have one main game camera that goes into Flow. But I have access to it as well. So if we need stuff, like if I want a good camera shot or something, that's our highest quality camera. So like you guys may see it on the broadcast if you're watching from home, but like if you just see something random happening during warm-ups or during a TV timeout or an intermission or something, like that's coming from us, right? That's what we're doing. But you bring up Madison, and Madison did do a fantastic job with this team, right? She left me in such a great place to be able to come in and be able to do great work right away. And she technically had 4 jobs.
Yep.
As one person.
Yeah, it was insane.
They split Madison's role into 2 separate jobs, and I'm just one of the 2 jobs now. So Madison was a rock star here, and I've heard so many great things. I wish I had the chance to work with her because I've just heard amazing things about what she was able to do. But like you mentioned, she wore a lot of hats. She technically had 4 jobs.
Yep.
So to be able to come in here though and have ownership give me the ability to just solely focus on all the game day stuff, and I know that includes the operations side of it too, but to be able to come in and solely focus on game production, I think will just help what Madison was able to already grow here and just, like I kind of mentioned, continue to grow it even more and make it such a fun game day experience for the fans. So.
Yep. So there's obviously, I guess it doesn't seem like when we're watching the game, right? When I go back and watch broadcasts, but how closely are you working with players and the coaches, timing, logistics, stuff like that? When I was down in Pensacola this weekend, right? Got to have that media pass, was down in the tunnel with the guys every time before they came on and off, and I could hear on their little headsets from whoever runs their game day operations down to, they call it the flight deck crew, right, as their crew, right, down to the flight deck crew that was in front of the team, and like she would relay it to Bailey Birkin, our goalie. He was leading the charge each time, and be like, hey, at this time you guys hit the ice, right? How heavy do you guys rely on timing and logistics? Any of that stuff pre-planned with the team, or did they just kind of know because it's a home game for them?
Yeah, so we always have a timing sheet that we'll put on each team's locker rooms.
Okay.
So it'll give them the specific time of day of when to come out onto the ice, things like that. But then also the clock time as well. So like obviously for a 6 o'clock game, we're gonna want them on the ice by probably coming out right around 6 o'clock because technically the puck drop will be at like 6:07 or whatever.
6:07.
Yeah.
Warm ups 25 minutes before puck drop or something.
So they'll have a timing sheet. They'll have all that information, but Graham is our direct liaison to the team. So anything that we need the team to know beforehand, I'm always in touch with him to make sure that Dave knows. Dave will always relay the message to the team. Tucker's been a big help with that too this year. But especially like opening night, for example, when we're introducing the team one by one, and everybody's getting their moment to skate out onto the ice, right? There's a lot of communication that happens beforehand to make sure the players are where they need to be at the right time in the order we want to introduce them in. So it's just a lot of communication. That's his whole job, really, is about communication, making sure I'm communicating clearly to the floor, to our camera operators, to our front office staff, to our game day staff, literally everybody, because this is one big operation that everyone has a hand in, right? Like, yes, I'm the one who I guess is planning it, but it doesn't happen without everybody's involvement. So really good communication throughout an entire game night, not just with the team, but with everybody is huge.
So you kind of talk about that, right? It takes a lot of teamwork to make this happen.
Yeah.
Any specific moments? I'm trying to find my question over here.
You're good.
Right. Any behind the scenes stories where teamwork like really saved the day? Whether, again, you've only got the one game in Macon so far, but from your time so far here in Macon, even if it's like behind the scenes for media day, stuff like that, to your time in college and with the Islanders.
Yeah. God, there's so many. Because this whole job, like I just said, is really communication, right? Like, I'm show calling, so technically I'm communicating with everyone the entire time, right? Like, I'm telling our PA announcer when to make a read, so there's communication right there. I'm communicating with our floor manager, hey, do we have our contestants ready to go for this contest that's going to happen right at the start of the intermission? Yes. I'm not going to say there's one specific moment where the teamwork saved the day, because this job doesn't happen without teamwork. So literally everything you see during a game day happens because of teamwork. We have our game day staff going to get contestants when doors open for our intermission contest. We have our floor manager making sure we have everyone in place for ceremonial puck drops, right? We have other game day staff with our performance groups who are going to do God Bless America and the national anthem, right? Like, this doesn't happen without teamwork as a whole. So I'm not going to say there's one specific moment that it necessarily saved the day, because there would be no day without it to begin with.
Obviously, we going back, we talked about making moments.
Okay.
Right? And it feels like, you said it, it feels like that's kind of the ownership and like the top level of our organization, and Fayetteville's too, right?
Yep.
Of make a moment for a fan, right?
Yeah,
you make a moment, and if that moment is as big of an impact as we hope it is, you make a fan for life.
100%.
My favorite moments have been almost always based around promotion nights, specialty nights, whether it's the specialty jerseys. Mine and Nicole's first game was Jurassic Night.
Yep.
Right, a couple of years ago. Those jerseys are awesome. Yeah. I loved it. I rocked it this weekend down in Pensacola. Having never been to a Macon game before, like a Macon Mayhem game, I went to a Trax game and a Whoopie game when I was younger.
Yep.
A couple Ice Flyer games when I was stationed down in Pensacola, but like never been as involved in hockey as I am now.
Yeah.
It's continuing to grow.
Yep.
And walking away with that night with 3 game-worn jerseys is...
That's pretty cool.
Stupid.
It's pretty cool.
Right? But just the interaction with the players, right? We met Goldowski. Great guy. Love that he's still here.
Yep.
One of Nicole's favorite players. He's with Evansville now, Derek Contessa. And then Anthony Hora, who I think is up in the ECHL now. I think last I saw he was like with the Railers or something. I could be wrong. But is there any promotions or specialty jerseys, without giving too much away, right?
Without telling us
on
the spot here.
Any promotion nights or specialty jerseys that you, and we'll do this 2 parts.
Yeah.
One from the game day operation side, like what you get to do with the broadcast and everything, and then just as a fan that you're looking forward to.
So, oh God. So broadcast specifically, or the in-game stuff, I'm really excited for Disney night.
Okay.
And this isn't me like trying to like tip off that something like crazy is gonna happen or anything, because I'm still in the planning process of that game. But I'm just a big Disney guy. Like, I love Disney.
Yep.
I've been going to Disney World since I was a little kid with my family. Like, this is like, and I'm not a Disney adult. Let me just preface first by saying that. But I'm excited with all the creative ideas we have around the office. That's been a very popular night for us. So I'm excited to see what we're gonna come up with there for the in-arena stuff. But as a fan, if I was a fan and I saw the promo schedule, honestly, my favorite thing would be Pack the Plex, because I love a building with good energy in it, right? Like,
Pack the Plex last year was insane.
I'm sure.
Again, most people now, the second most amount of people I've seen in that arena, most being the school day game that we had in March. That was
That's another one.
All the kids were insane.
Right. I might change my answer from Disney night to the school day game. I've heard so many great things about this school day game, and I am so excited for what we're gonna do this year.
The kids get into it. I for one am glad that season ticket holders do not have a ticket to that game.
It is going to be loud in that building.
It was rough last year. They moved us down into the Coca-Cola party deck, right? They put us down there. But getting off of work and just like going to work that morning with a jersey on, like all like hyped up, leaving, and my coworker's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "A hockey game." I'm like, "It's 9 o'clock in the morning." I'm like, "Exactly. What else do you want from me?" But that was insane. But Pack the Plex and like just the discounted ticket rate, like any night where it's the discounted tickets and we can get more people in, it's always fun. We my company that I work for now bought a group of tickets last year. I think we bought like 50 tickets for Pack the Plex. And a handful of those people that I got to go to the game have transitioned into no season ticket holders yet, but
they're interested in the game now.
Regular people who go to these games and go see the Mayhem. You know, now I've got people who know that, you know, in the office, I'm the Mayhem guy. Right? You want to know about hockey? Come talk to me, and I will talk your ear off. I've got my last year's season ticket holder flag. It's on my wall in my office, right? So when you walk in, the first thing you see is that flag, so you know you're in the right office.
And honestly, that's such a big reason why this job was so interesting to me before I got down here was I have the chance to create these moments for fans. Like this, let's just be honest, this isn't the biggest hockey market in the country.
Not at all.
And I'm coming from New York where hockey is massive. So getting to create the moments for fans and turn them into hockey fans, not just make them Mayhem fans, but grow the game in an area where there was professional hockey at a point in time. People want professional hockey back in Georgia.
Fingers crossed in a few years we get a team again.
Exactly. So, but being able to grow the game to people who still don't know this great game yet, and then have them get excited when professional hockey inevitably probably does come back to Georgia, like, that was such a cool opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
Talking about hockey coming back to Georgia, right, especially at that NHL level.
NHL level, yeah.
Staying with Macon isn't going to be end all of your career, right? With your ability, it's the same thing. I've talked to Graham about it, right? Ambitions, everybody wants to continue to grow, right? You think you'll stick around until Atlanta gets a team and then go hop up there? Or
I don't want to listen. Hey, listen, I mean, if Atlanta ever got a team, like, that would be an amazing opportunity if that ever came across. But right now I'm solely focused on the Mayhem and creating the experiences here for everyone here in Macon because, listen, like you said, it's only been one game so far, but that was the most fun I think I've had in my entire career the other night. 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I don't even know how long ago it was.
2 weeks now,
It's been a blur since then, but no, like, I'm solely focused on creating these moments right now for these fans and this amazing fan base, and everyone seemed to like the opening night stuff.
It was good.
I've seen a lot of great reviews, so I appreciate all the positive comments from everybody, but this thing's only going to get better. So that's my sole focus right now. As much as Atlanta would be cool, right here is my sole focus right now.
Chuck, Alex, if you're listening, that's the politically correct answer that he decided to get. That's just the correct answer.
That's just the correct answer. That's not the politically correct answer. That's just the answer.
Okay. 2 more questions before we wrap it up. Right? Before I get you in trouble with anybody at this point. If you could swap roles for one night, right?
Yeah.
With anyone related to the Mayhem, right? Mascot, game day operations, down doing intermission games, PA, bill, tickets, Graham, coach, player. Who would it be and why are you swapping with them?
See, there's 2 and I have different reasons for both of them, but I'm going to go with Graham. Because kind of going back to the broadcasting thing I talked about earlier, like, so me and him actually called High Point hockey games together at a point in time for a little bit. And that's where I initially met Graham, and Graham's the reason why I'm down here now. He's the one who told me about this position even being open. But it's always been the passion of mine to call games, and I told Graham, I said, hey, listen, you ever need a color guy on the road, like, let's get back in the booth together. Like, I would love to call another game. I haven't done it in a bunch of years, so I'd love to call games, so I would say Graham. But at the same time, I played hockey growing up. I wouldn't mind throwing on the jersey and the pads for a night.
Okay. All right. And then last question.
Yeah.
In a single word, how are you describing this year's team?
Exciting.
Okay.
Exciting. I think there's really good vibes in that locker room right now from everything that I've seen. And listen, every game so far of this season has been very competitive.
It has. that we have not been.
3 shootouts in 4 games is absurd.
My heart is upset with the team.
Well, I'm used to that with the Islanders going to overtime like every single night. But no. From everything I've heard and everything I've seen so far, I think there's a lot of reason to be excited about this team. And just like with our stuff in the arena on a game-by-game basis, I'm very excited to see how this team grows and progresses throughout the season, too. I think it's going to be a very fun year for everybody in Macon.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is Danny Shay. All right, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for having me.
Maybe we get you back in here later this year. Who knows?
Let's go. Anytime you want.
But I appreciate you coming out, man.
100%. Thanks for having me.